Welcome to Florida Mint on Florida Man with Greg, Wayne, Josh, and Cameron, the podcast where Floridians discuss the legends, lore, and crazy stories that always seem to take place in Florida. We are here today in beautiful Tampa, Florida, at Cigar City Brewing with our new friend Neil. Neil, how are you, man?
Doing outstanding. How about you all?
Very good.
Very good.
I'm super stoked to be here.
Yeah,
Well, there's
we
a
are
beer in front
excited.
of you, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I mean, the beer in front of us is definitely like the highlight so far.
It's a great way to start the day. We're really excited to be here. This place is beautiful. Lots of history tied to Central Florida, and we're going to be getting into that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you check out patreon.com/FMOFM podcast for more bonus features, and we're going to head over to headlines.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Okay, headlines.
All right.
All right, so our first headline, we have a Florida man who was just hanging out at his local bar.
Okay, wow.
Probably drinking Cigar City, right?
I like this story already.
Enjoying a nice Florida man beer. And, he wanted to show off to his friends a little bit. Okay,
That probably takes place 100% every night at a bar.
Exactly. And a lot of the times, if you're trying to show off in a bar, you're doing little, bar tricks, little kind of sleight of hand type thing.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
he pulls out a gun.
Okay.
And decides to show off his fancy new gun. So he pulls it out. He's showing it off. He's showing his friends. And then all of a sudden, he's kind of pretending that he's putting it in a shoulder. He doesn't have a shoulder holster.
Well, that's the trick that everybody wants to see. Like,
Right.
Can
yeah.
you put it in a shoulder
What
holster?
would it look like if you put it in an imaginary shoulder holster? So he does that, shoots himself in the side. Right.
Well, then it wasn't accurate because most don't point right at your side, right?
No. If you're holstering your gun, you're not supposed to shoot yourself.
Okay, amen.
And so, anyways, he basically puts the gun away, pays his tab, and he's like, I need to drive myself to
He
the
just
hospital.
casually leaves?
He
Wow.
drives himself to the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
We're not sure what his condition is right now.
what?
But he immediately left, and I'm headed to the hospital.
But,
right now.
I mean, was the crowd impressed?
I think at that point you have to be.
There's a level of respect.
You've never seen a bar trick that ended with somebody being shot. I would hope. I mean, if you have,
No.
it probably wasn't a trick at that point.
I saw a group playing Red Rover with guns, and I was like, this is...
Red Rover?
Yeah.
How do you play Red Rover
They were
with
just
guns?
holding each other. It was odd. I wouldn't recommend it.
I like that he paid his tab, though.
Yeah, I mean, that is important.
It's respectful.
It is respectful, yeah. All right, so our next Florida man headline, we have a Florida teen, okay, who, pet snakes are a thing, right?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Not a thing for me.
Yeah, Neil, do you
Okay.
have a pet snake?
Not to the best of my understanding. But you never know what's going on in the backyard these days.
That is very true.
You never know. Josh knows about that.
I do. Pet
Bobcat
snakes
in the
and
backyard.
bobcats.
Anyways, he has a pet snake that happens to be a cottonmouth. Okay.
Okay.
Florida water moccasin. Probably the most deadly poisonous snake in Florida, native
Yeah.
to Florida. Highly venomous, highly aggressive too. Like they're known
Yeah.
to be very aggressive.
Yep.
And so,
It's his pet.
well, yeah. He keeps it in a pillowcase.
Okay, good.
Oh,
And
good.
so
Good. Yeah.
again, you're pulling out something to show off. Right. It's just
Okay.
a show and tell at
Got
all
it.
times on
That
the
seems
show.
to be a
apparently.
trend.
That's not a friend that I want to
No.
have. Yeah.
No. So he pulls this water moccasin out of a pillowcase, and he's, like any pet, you're giving it little smooches on
Are ya?
the snout.
Right.
Little kisses, light little
Is this a
kisses to
snout?
show affection. You got to make sure that they know that they are loved.
I know where this is going.
And appreciated. He does this like a dozen times.
Ugh.
And then, obviously, the last one, he gets bit right on
The
the
snake
face.
kisses back.
He
I'm
kisses
sorry.
back
Yeah.
by a water moccasin.
The 11th
Good
kiss is
gravy.
not going to impress me any more than the first kiss.
Right. Yeah. If you did it one time, that's
We're
good.
good, yeah.
Right. You survived. Put it back in the pillowcase.
I'm leaving as soon
Yeah.
as you pull a snake out of a pillowcase anyways. You know what I mean? Like, that's not where I want to be.
You pull anything out of a pillowcase,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm leaving. Like, what
Other
what do
than
you
a
keep in
pillow,
a
yeah.
pillowcase?
Gun.
Other than a
gun.
pillow, I don't want to be there.
So, anyways, dude, the guy, again, immediately puts the snake
He
down.
pays his tab.
And says, he's going to the hospital. He's like, I have to go to the hospital.
He said goodbye to his imaginary friends. that
Man,
were hanging
his
out with him.
face. Woo.
Wait, there's a picture of it?
So swollen.
Oh.
So I guess they got it on video.
Okay.
I mean, it is
Yeah.
swollen.
Yeah.
I guess they got this on video. But anyways, don't keep pet snakes.
You
in
have to
pillowcases.
question the type of friends you have.
Right.
If they're
Yeah.
not cautioning you
Well,
when you
even
pull.
friends that are pulling guns out at a bar.
I think
any
it's
kind
guns and snakes is where I like.
Both of these stories just play to insecurity. Like people like
Yes.
you.
Right.
Yes.
We think you're cool.
Yep.
You don't need to pull out
There we
weapons
go. The deep
and
dive.
poisonous snakes. Like we all think you're great.
Stop
Okay?
trying to prove yourself
Exactly.
to
Put
us.
the snake
I don't
away.
think you think I'm great. Let me show you my snake.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
you've probably heard that in a bar too.
Yeah.
So our next story, we have Florida man who is being banned from Florida beaches
Okay. Wow.
because he's been playing his tuba on the beach. Let me take that back.
The
He
instrument.
specifically is not being banned himself. Like he can still go with his friends.
Okay.
Hang out on the beach. He's being banned for playing tuba.
His
on the
tuba
beach.
is banned.
Please stop playing tuba on the beach.
Right.
Wow.
So city officials, this Fort Myers Beach, basically said this is a entertainment ordinance violation.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Was
I
it
don't know if
entertainment?
it's like a licensing thing. Like, hey man, you're playing sick tuba. We are
Is there
not
a-
licensed in this venue on the beach to hear these great covers.
Dude, that's the thing, man. Is like, I would not have a problem with it. I don't think if I'm at the beach and someone's just kind of tubaing.
What if it was like overly aggressive tubaing though?
Or if he's like in my personal space,
Okay.
yeah. But if he's just like in the, kind of on the way, just kind of playing,
Right.
I think it'd be kind of lovely.
I did
actually.
learn that Neil was in a band. Is this something that you'll be protective over? His right to play tuba?
Absolutely, and I would rather hear a tuba solo at the beach
Yeah.
than somebody with a Bluetooth speaker playing.
Oh my
three-
God.
311.
100%.
Whoa, 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 okay.
Every time it's 311.
I was with you until you said 311.
Yeah, that's.
Mr. Worldwide. Yeah.
Josh will always fight for his right to play 311.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, this is America. You can like 311 if you want to, but
I love 'em.
you're doing that without
They're
me.
big fans of the show. So
I will say this: we actually helped promote the Florida Man Festival a few years back.
Yep.
And 1975, really cool guys. They were headlining.
Jimmy Eats the World.
Jimmy Eats the World. They were all headlining. Really nice guys. And then this guy over here, Josh, he's geeking out about 311 because they were on the
they
the bill.
were pumped. I was pumped because they were pumped.
They were pumped.
Jimmy
They were
World
hyped.
was not pumped. Jimmy was not feeling the Florida Man Festival.
But that was a lot of fun.
311, they were pumped.
Listen, I think if any one of those bands puts a tuba into their lineup,
That's the thing, though.
it's just gonna make it better.
I would prefer the tuba. I'm with Neil. I prefer the tuba over
Okay.
311.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, and I prefer it over really any music because it's live. It's right
Yeah,
there,
I
and the
get
guy's
it. I
doing
get
it probably in a wholesome way. If you have a tuba,
And he might take requests.
that's what I'm saying.
Hey, man.
Exactly.
Okay, name me a tuba song.
I mean, I think "Tiny Dancer" by Elton John would be a
That would
great
be
tuba solo.
gorgeous.
Is it?
I think it would be beautiful.
Anything from Yeezy's new
if you
record.
really want to get the crowd at the beach pumped.
Yeah.
"Sweet Caroline"
Come
on
on.
tuba.
My God. Oh, I was hoping you two were going to attempt to play
No,
tuba.
we did. We
Did you
did.
do an octave lower
And
though?
you loved it. Nope. Not this early.
All right. So our next headline, we have a Florida man that goes to a zoo in Jacksonville,
Okay.
right? You're
Seems safe.
there to learn. You're there to experience the wildlife.
Yes.
Right.
And specifically go to the zoo to see animals that you don't want to see in your backyard, like a bobcat. Like
Hey, man, you
Josh
don't
would more
want
like,
an encounter.
He would love to see a bobcat in the zoo,
I
Right.
would love to.
not in the bushes in his backyard.
Not on my arm in
Well-
my backyard.
Right. This guy saw a jaguar at the zoo in Jacksonville.
Is that out of place?
No, I mean it's at the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Okay.
Okay. It was a
So
football player.
Jacksonville Jag was a defensive lineman.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Safety.
I'm on it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're standing there in their pads.
Welcome to the zoo.
Well, that would make this story way better too, because anyways, this Florida man that was just attending the zoo hops over the barrier.
Okay, there it is.
It's like a waist high barrier, just 4 feet from the enclosure. Try to get some distance.
They're
Well,
quick, buddy. I wouldn't do it.
He hops
Big
that.
cats are quick.
They are quick. He goes over to the enclosure, sticks his hand in, and gets mauled by a
Yeah.
jaguar.
Yeah.
All right. And I only did this story. I know, Josh. I know it's going to bring back
It
some
does.
PTSD.
That's traumatic.
Some
Really, yeah.
feline PTSD.
He was so angry.
But he as well had to check himself into the hospital.
He paid his tab.
They
Yep.
paid his tab.
He left the
and
zoo.
He left. But he was taunting this jaguar. Reached
Oh,
through.
see.
Why would you put your hand inside a fence of any animal at the zoo.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to side with the animal, like
Right.
100% of the time.
I've seen tortoises at the zoo, and I've never reached my hand.
No,
on there.
it's disrespectful. You're supposed
Yeah.
to leave them alone.
So, anyways, this is
What's a taunt though to a big
Oh,
cat? Like a
I mean, you can
shaka?
taunt in
Do they
any way.
hate like a shaka to
They
their
do
face?
hate shaka.
Okay.
This
You're
is
not
a
as special as you think you are.
12-year-old jaguar named Harry.
Oh,
Okay,
he's a veteran.
Yeah, and so he actually got in a fight last year with another jaguar, and I think he's a good fighter. It
Yeah.
sounds
Oh,
like
he's
a good
2 for
fighter.
2.
Because they
He's
don't
2
mention
for
the
2.
other. They
Jaguar,
don't mention
you
the
know what I
other
mean?
jaguar.
They don't. Well, they did. But,
He's winning.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, anyways, our next headline: we have a Florida man that is being sought right now. They're looking for him.
He's being sought after?
He's being sought after. And so,
Okay.
if you know anything about this, let us know. Email us. Don't call Crime
Not the police.
Stoppers.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Call
Contact us. We'll
Yeah.
contact them. But this happened in May. They're still looking for this guy. This is kind of coming out now. But this guy broke into the USF Center and basically stole 3 title belts from the WWE.
Okay.
Okay, so he stole
Okay.
3 wrestling title belts.
Okay.
He also stole a cross necklace worn by
Wow.
WWE star Sheamus,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
That's fine.
big fans of Sheamus.
Okay. And a corner pad, I assume from like
The corner.
the corner.
Yeah.
Of
Gotta
the-
keep them
the
padded.
wrestling. Right.
And that's what the turnbuckle thing.
The
Right.
what?
That's what I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
A turnbuckle?
Yeah,
I
right?
assume.
Yeah, it is.
Sounds
Yeah.
right.
I'll
Sounds
be.
really
I can
right.
text my friend right now to see because he knows everything about
Yeah,
wrestling.
he is a pro wrestler.
I know nothing, but if you see anybody walking around with 3 or
I'm not
even
going to rat
1,
this guy out.
like wrestling belts.
Well,
He
you
sounds
don't
cool as
want
heck,
to,
man.
You don't want. Obviously, you don't want to go against him if he's got wrestling belts.
Well,
He's got 3 titles.
he didn't earn them though.
He's got 3 titles. I mean, this guy's deadly.
The titles travel with the belt.
Yeah,
If
easy.
you have the belt, you automatically
He's the
have the title.
Intercontinental
he
champ.
instantly
He's
got
the
it.
tag team champ.
He's the tag team champ.
I'm saying all these things are starting to come together. You got a Florida man with a snake in a
Right.
in a pillowcase.
Right.
You got stolen championship belts.
Right.
I think Jake the Snake Roberts
I
is
think
on
Jake
the
the
Oh
list.
my
Snake
gosh.
Roberts
All
is the
signs point
guy.
to Jake the Snake.
Come on, that's the guy I'm not pursuing. I'm not
No.
pursuing Jake the
We're
Snake Roberts.
solving this live right now.
It's Jake the Snake. It was Jake the Snake.
It was Jake the Snake. All right, so we
That's
have
great.
a new Florida police vehicle that's being rolled out this month
Oh, I can
in
only
Delray
imagine.
Beach. All right, this is big news. All right, breaking here.
It's a Raby?
What?
What'd you say?
A new vehicle in Delray Beach.
Delray Beach.
Right.
Abrams tank, I assume.
And so they, the police chief over there announced that, hey, listen, we're trying to do best for our community
Yeah.
and police in the correct way, and we're adding a new vehicle to our fleet. It's going to be an ice cream truck,
Oh.
and
Okay.
it's something that we've thought about for a while.
You had
and
me in
so
the
we're,
beginning.
We're rolling out an ice cream truck. And at first, when I read the headline, I'm like, it'd be kind of dope to do surveillance in an ice cream truck.
okay.
This
Like
guy.
you just like sit on
Big
the,
state over here.
like you're sitting
Yeah.
in the street and like kids are knocking on. Can I get an ice cream? Get out of here, kid.
Yeah.
We're doing that.
We're looking for Jake the Snake
We're
Roberts.
looking for Jake the Snake.
If you've seen him, let us know.
No. So what they're doing with this is they are serving ice cream. So police
I don't trust
officers,
it.
Josh is
I
not gonna
don't
like
trust
this.
it.
Police officers are
No.
rolling out this ice cream truck, and they
Yeah.
were wanting to give back to the community. They
That's
said
cool.
that they,
Good.
when people hear the ice cream truck music,
Oh,
they
God.
want people to come running to the police, and they want to be able to have good.
You know what's gonna
I
happen?
can't even get through this.
You order 3 times, and they're like, "You high?" They're like, yeah. Let me see that
Turn out your
prescription card.
pockets. So they said they want to give back to the community. So come get some free ice cream. They just want to have conversations with people.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
if-
I
and they
mean,
said
I
if
get-
you
I
just
like
want,
it.
they said if you just want free ice cream and you don't want to talk, that's okay too.
Okay.
Right.
I'd try it.
You try it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go chat.
I would suggest that you take the ice cream and don't talk.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
that
Wayne's
is
gonna
the
get his
that's my
choco,
legal
unless
advice.
your attorney
his
is
choco
present.
taco and get
that's
out of
my-
there.
That's my legal advice.
Neil, did you have a favorite out of the ice cream truck? Screwball?
Oh.
It actually, in all honesty, it goes back to the wrestling thing we were just talking about. You remember it was on a stick, but it
Yeah.
was 2 cookies and then vanilla ice cream in the middle, and then would have a wrestler
What?
on the
What?
cookie.
Really?
Yes, and it had all the,
Could you
the
collect-
late '80s, early '90s.
So you could collect them all. I mean,
So
you would
Hitman
eat
Hart
them.
was there.
It was all the exact same thing. Be like, oh man, I got Bret
Hitman,
Hart again. I
yeah.
don't want Bret Hart. I want Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
It was the same exact
I'm
flavor.
looking for Ric Flair.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no.
That's brilliant.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, Josh.
So, in Florida, obviously it's summertime
Right.
most of the year, and
Most
beer
of the year for sure.
is a big part of summer.
Right.
Right.
And you know what else is a big part of summer?
What?
Summer foods.
Okay.
Summer foods.
I received these questions
Okay.
from a couple fans. They asked, what's your favorite summer food?
Right.
But I didn't feel like that was spicy enough for our guest.
Okay.
And
So you're not
it's-
going to ask Neil what his favorite summer food is?
Yeah,
I can
that's-
tell that he was thinking.
That'll be the third question. The first two, I'll go ahead and...
I love that you just said, in passing, thank you for submitting questions to the show.
Yes.
They weren't good enough.
well,
I'm making them better.
yes. Well, I'm adding some words, taking some words away.
I got you. Okay. You heard it here, folks.
So, also, Megan Thee Stallion has a hit song called
Okay.
Hot Girl Summer.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great. It sounds great on a tuba at the beach.
But,
Yeah.
That's true. But because I have trouble relating, at least to that song, I've changed some of the lyrics.
Okay. That's fine. We're going to get a licensing flag for this.
Yeah, because I'm going to say it perfectly. Look, old dude, I'm asleep on the weekend. Eat that sausage up even when I'm going vegan.
Okay.
All right.
Those are
So-
the lyrics I've changed some of the words to. You can pick and choose what it...
That's the summer food is sausage.
Yes, so which one of
Okay.
these is a real sausage type?
Are you asking us?
Yes. Is it the Woolworths, a.k.a. the woolly sausage?
Okay.
Is it
Multiple
the...
choice?
Yes, 4 choices.
Okay.
The Pincho Mincho, a.k.a. a pinch of mince.
Okay.
Okay.
Would it be the labor loaf, a.k.a. pummeled pork?
Humbled pork.
Yeah.
I don't like
or
the sound of
is
that
it Miras Fruche Jaguar,
one. Okay.
also known as stuffed pike? Which one of those is the real sausage type?
They all sound convincingly real.
I would eat them all. Humbled pork, I'd eat that for breakfast right now.
Yeah.
Even when you're going vegan, you would eat that sausage.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I would go back for.
Neil, what do you think, man?
I'm sorry, the phrase was labor loaf?
Lieber loaf. Yeah.
Labor loaf.
I
I heard
labor
labor
loaf.
loaf.
I did
Lieber
too.
loaf.
The labor of
It
love.
could be the dialect.
I think you'll be seeing Cigar City's new beer, Labor Loaf, on the shelves beginning this fall.
At least I was an inspiration.
Yeah, that's a good.
Stuffed pike sounds reasonable to me.
Stuffed pike. Okay, that was the Miras Fruche Jaguar.
That's what I was actually going to It sounds realistic, yeah.
Or obviously the Woolworths,
Right.
Pincho Mincho, Lieber loaf.
I really like the pincho mincho.
Pincho Mincho. Okay, let me check. Actually, it was the Woolworths. The woolly sausage is a
Oh.
real sausage.
What is it?
No idea.
Well, I'm glad that you're educating us.
Wait,
Well,
did
I
we
did-
all get it wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Maybe you can pick it up on question 2.
The one that no one chose is the right answer.
Woolly worst.
I'm not going to tell you why.
Let's see. Okay. Let him hit it because he's slaying cocaine. He tossed my salad like his name Romaine.
Okay.
Which one of these is a real lettuce? Is it the Ruffian,
Okay.
the Butterhead, Penguin lettuce,
Right.
or the jailbird?
Listen, I'm confident in this one.
This guy knows lettuce.
I know that.
You're asking about lettuce.
Lettuceologist over there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lettuceologist.
FSU.
Butterhead has to be a real lettuce.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
That's confident, dude.
Butterhead.
You just convinced me, and I don't.
Hey, you want that butterhead salad?
I'm easily
nobody's ever
persuadable.
said that word.
Butterhead?
I want a Butterhead salad.
I want a butterhead salad.
Well, what were the other?
Neil?
I never forgot the other album.
I'm going Penguin final answer. Thank you.
Ruffian and jailbird are the other two.
I see. This is the problem. I feel obligated to pick one that someone hasn't chosen.
That's the name of the game.
Nobody's making you do that.
I feel pressured. I'm gonna.
Well, it
see,
can't be a tie, so.
I never heard Butterhead in my life. This guy convinced me it's real. I'll do the Ruffian.
Oh, the ruffian is actually a word that I made up. Butterhead is the real answer.
There we
here.
go.
Wait, time out. I'm
knew
so
it.
sorry.
Yeah.
Well, how did you know that?
Listen, I do the
Let's
shopping
FSU.
at Publix and go to Publix. Your local Publix.
FSU.
They teach that.
We're real lettuce heads up there at FSU. Butterheads. Oh man.
Okay.
I haven't figured out what this quiz is yet.
Summer foods.
So far, we talked about
Summer
lettuce
sausage.
and lettuce. I feel like at the end you're going to give us a recipe for like sausage lettuce rolls.
We'll see. We'll see. So, question 3 is actually subjective.
Okay.
Well, and I'll pick my favorite. Okay. What is your favorite summer food?
Okay, so I'm sorry. We're going to tell you what our favorite food.
Yes.
And you're going to pick the person.
This
that
one's
you-
worth 5 points. It is the last question of the round.
So your subjective choice just
Right.
decides the winner of
Yep.
this. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative, man.
Listen, for summer foods, I think grilling.
Okay.
You got to be on the grill.
All right.
Even if it's just simple hamburgers and hot dogs.
Okay.
Some
Good
of that.
Cigar City beer.
With some Cigar
we
City
go.
beer, the frost-proof beer would be delicious right now with a hamburger. You get that potato salad that nobody's really going to eat, but everybody
Amen.
brings it. Maybe some coleslaw.
Got it.
That just like screams summer to me.
Okay.
And I'm just going to eat like 2 hamburgers, and I'm never going to eat the sides.
Your
Yeah.
summer meal is a hamburger.
Yep.
Off the grill.
Off the grill.
I just want to say this. We went to a pool party on 4th of July, and this guy brought potato salad.
And I didn't eat it.
Sorry to call you out.
Yeah, that is the lead
Around
behind.
the world,
That's
you
the
heard it
lead
here
behind.
first.
It's like,
you
I
heard
don't-
it here first.
I didn't have any good ideas or
Yeah.
time,
Well,
so I picked it up and left it.
To our European listeners, potato salad here is
Potatoes and
Describe
mayonnaise.
what the recipe is.
Right.
it's not good. It's
I mean,
red
it's not
skin
bad.
potato. You said you never eat it.
Well, yeah, I mean that's true.
Neil, did you have a potato salad recipe you wanted to share?
Yeah, absolutely not. I got no time for potato salad.
Amen.
Thank you.
It's just taking up room in the stomach that
That's
real
what I'm
food
talking
can
about.
take up.
That's that's what the quote on the episode needs to be. I've got no time for potato salad.
What about your favorite summer meal?
You said food first and then meal. Now all of a sudden,
I don't have the
breadth
question
of this
written
question
down.
has expanded a lot.
Okay. Favorite summer item that is a food product
Okay.
that you could make into a meal.
For my money, not for nothing.
Yeah.
I like a good watermelon salad.
Come on.
Chunked watermelon, a little
Got
bit of
it.
basil on there, maybe toss a little cheese in there. Ooh,
Holy moly.
Sounds
dude.
a little fancy for Florida.
Hey, that's me. You know? Florida man doesn't always have to be
Hamburger.
slumming it.
That's it, man. Fancy Florida.
That sounds good.
Wayne?
Dude, that's the thing is once again, I thought my answer was stolen. I love a good watermelon salad. No, I was going to go with hamburger. Cameron took it, so I'll go second, which is a good hot dog.
Okay.
A Lieber loaf?
No, a pummeled pork. Yeah, no, I'd like to do like a Chicago style
Got it.
Okay.
hot dog.
Wow.
And the ones that fit perfectly. I don't want to take a bite of dog without any bread attached. I want the ratio
Okay.
to be 100.
Oh, you want dog hanging off both ends?
No, I want it perfect.
Oh, okay,
I want bread and dog in every bite.
I wasn't listening. I was just.
I can tell you're staring off into space.
I got you.
You've already chosen your winner. It doesn't matter what I say. This guy's already
It's
chosen
watermelon
his winner.
salad. It's
Of course it's watermelon salad. He says hamburger. I said hot dog like a 4-year-old. Neil gives an educated answer.
Yeah.
And
Gave me
Josh
the
is
rest.
like, I don't care what one has to say. It's gonna be Neil.
Thank you guys.
So, as we said earlier in the episode, we are here with Neil, and we are at Cigar City Brewing, having a great time. It's a beautiful location. Neil, so Cigar City, the name itself, can we speak a little bit about that? Tampa's been called Cigar City. There's a lot of history there.
Right.
What's that connection?
Sure. So we were founded as a company back in 2007 by Joey Redner.
Okay.
Joey is a fifth-generation Floridian. He's lived his whole
Nice.
life in Tampa. So he wanted to make an impression within the beer community here in
Wow.
Florida, but he also wanted to tell the story of the culture, cuisine, and history
Sure.
of Tampa, Florida.
Sure.
We can't talk about the history of Florida without talking about cigars.
Right.
So late 1800s, early 1900s,
Yeah.
there were dozens and dozens of cigar manufacturers, mostly in an area just east of here called Ybor City.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
literally thousands of people employed in hand rolling cigars, and all
Right.
the buildings down there
Yeah.
used to be either cigar factories or company stores, or everything down there was built to support the cigar industry.
Right.
So prior to the Cuban Revolution, Tampa was the biggest purchaser of Cuban-made tobacco in the world. So it was known as the cigar capital
That's
of the
incredible.
world. Yeah.
That is so cool.
So Cigar City, that's where the name comes
Wow.
from. And literally the day that we opened, and the facility where we're sitting here, this is our original location. This is where we started. This is the heart and soul of our brand.
Right.
Literally the day that we opened, people said, "Oh, Cigar City. So when did you guys move from Ybor?"
Okay,
Right.
so
We're never in Ybor. We're always
yeah.
here. So up
just
until
naturally tied to the Ybor.
course.
exactly,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
see cigars in Tampa and they think Ybor. So
Right.
up until recently, on our sign out front, it said not in Ybor since 2009.
That's hilarious.
That's incredible. So, like, that is like you said, a big part of our state's history, especially in Central Florida. I was reading somewhere like it was like 1880, give or take. People began calling this area, that's where the cigars are at. This is kind of
course.
where it happens. Do you guys kind of feel like because you guys are a staple here in Tampa, you're a big part of the
I
culture.
think Florida, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely. Yeah,
Tampa.
yeah. Locally, yeah, but across the state, is what I was going to say is people have heard of Cigar City Brewing. Is that something that like you guys obviously you don't take it lightly, but you guys carries a lot of weight. Your name carries a lot of weight in the state.
Well,
Yeah.
we've worked really hard to sort of earn the reputation that we've had.
Sure.
But again, Joey, the guy who started our company, from day one, he really wanted to elevate, again, not only the culture, cuisine, and history of the area, but he also
Right.
wanted to elevate other brewers.
Right. Cool. That's
We're
cool.
in an area where, when we opened up in 2009, there were 6 craft breweries in the whole Tampa Bay area, and that's sort
Wow.
of Hillsborough County, Pinellas,
Yeah.
down to
Wow.
Manatee County. That whole area, there was 6.
Right.
So fast forward to 2021, there's over 90.
Wow.
It's amazing how quickly it's grown up. But all that to say, any opportunity we have to elevate and kind of shine a spotlight on what other breweries in the area are doing,
That's cool.
We try to do that because we always say we're standing on the shoulders of giants. If it
sure.
weren't
Right.
for
Yeah.
the early progenitors in the area, like Tampa Bay Brewing, like Dunedin Brewing, some of the Saints Somewhere, if it weren't for those guys, we wouldn't be where we are.
Sure.
So we try to be those same sort of stewards for
Nice.
the area and stewards for the industry
Right.
to other breweries. And we've been fortunate to have so much talent come through the four
yeah.
walls here. There's, I would say, the majority of breweries, especially in the Tampa Bay area, either have a former Cigar City employee working there or a former Cigar City employee in ownership.
That's incredible.
Okay,
That is
so
so
like you're
cool.
literally building the local industry
Yeah.
too. I mean, just through
we try. It's
Right.
something that Joey and our brewmaster Wayne have kind of
Yeah.
fostered from day one. Is if you want to come here and cut your teeth and then realize your own vision for craft beer in the
True.
Tampa
Cool.
Bay area, whatever we can do to help, we're
That's
here
amazing.
for it. Yeah, it's fun. It's a very unique industry in that sense.
Right.
I can't imagine many other industries where you could call up literally a competitor.
Yep.
The way we call up, whomever. In the early days, we called up Yingling.
Right.
They've been
Right.
actually
Oh,
a
yeah.
really great
Right.
partner in the area. Hey, we're having trouble with yeast. We're having trouble with
Nice.
this canning line.
Right.
And those guys were amazing. And same thing again, Tampa Bay Brewing
Yep.
and Dunedin. They were so welcoming and so excited about having more breweries in the area.
That's cool.
So we try to do the same thing.
Yeah.
We have a great lab that we'll walk through in just a little bit, but
Yeah.
we have a great lab that other breweries in the area can say, hey, we're having an issue. We feel like we might be getting this off flavor, and we'll send it through all of our lab equipment, and we'll be able to help those guys make good beer. We
That's
always say,
awesome.
look, if you guys are making good beer, that's going to help elevate what we're doing here in Tampa Bay.
Sure.
Right.
That's incredible. Like behind where we are filming right now, there's a lot happening. A lot going into. We're on it. It's a Monday morning.
Yeah.
You hear just kind of like people working, stuff's being made. Can you kind of walk us through what a day looks like here? Like in the morning, you guys brew here on site.
Correct.
But
And
you also
package.
have you package. You got a kitchen. So what's that like a day in, day out here?
There's always something going on.
It's-
Right.
yeah.
So at this facility with the tap room, with production, with sales, with marketing, we have about 100 people working here full time
Wow.
at this facility in Tampa.
Right.
We are brewing, especially over on Brew House 2, and I'll bring you guys there in just a little bit. We brew on that system 5 days a week, 24 hours a day. So
Wow.
if
Jeez.
you're here at 3 in the morning on a Tuesday, there's a
Yeah.
guy here, and he's probably brewing High Life.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'm
And
sure.
it's our overnight brewer. His name's Brady. He listens to nothing but Pantera. It's
What a vibe.
we go, oh, that's cool, and then you kind of roll around and go, wait, they have 6 albums. You've been listening to the
Yeah.
same 6 albums on repeat for years now. It's nutty.
Oh,
just
good,
blasting.
dude.
It makes
It's a
good
lot of
beer,
Dimebag
though.
Daryl.
It makes good. It makes good
the
beer.
beer really likes Pantera too.
Right.
But all that to say, there's always something going on here. Whether it's the brewers actually brewing the beer, whether it's the cellarmen that oversee fermentation, whether it's the packaging guys. We package here usually 2 shifts, 5 days a week. The tap room's open 7 days a week. marketing and some of those folks are there more banker's hours 9 to 5.
Cool.
But there's always something going on at this facility. It's exciting, and that's part of what I love about working here. Is I'll go spend some time in the lab and figure out what they're doing as far as sensory and yeast propagation, and then I'll go spend some time with the taproom guys and figure out what they're doing with their draft system, and then talk to the brewmaster and find out what he's doing with new recipes. And sort of every 10 feet you walk, you're running into somebody working on something really exciting but completely different.
That's
That
incredible.
is so crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
love
there
it.
is so much like packed into this place that like, even behind us in the tap room. Can you explain to it like what we have?
This is the original
inside
spot,
the
right?
tap room.
Right, it's our original spot where we're sitting here. This was our first brewery. The original brew house is what we're sitting in front of here. And when we opened up in 2009, there was a wall back behind here. Our first tap room was a piece of wood about that big.
Okay,
The
4
guy,
feet.
the guy pouring the beer was also the guy brewing the beer.
Okay.
So if you came in 2009 or 2010 and wanted beer, there was no air conditioning.
Okay.
There were a couple stools, and the guy on the brew deck had to get off. He was probably, cranky with you about having to interrupt his work day,
geez.
pour you beer. So, and then we added a bar and then a fuller bar. And about a year and a half ago, we were lucky enough to open up a full-service restaurant.
Nice.
So
Wow, it's incredible.
How
Yeah,
many
what-
barrels was that first?
So the first year we brewed just under 1,000 barrels.
Okay.
And in brewers' nomenclature, we say a barrel is 31 gallons.
Yeah.
So the first year we did about 1,000. Fast forward 2020, we did just over 200,000.
Wow.
It's a lot of
growth.
a lot of beer.
Yeah,
Well, I was
yeah.
gonna say too, like with Highlight, like it's such a staple that it's people write in, they drink it all over the place.
Oh,
You know?
It's
Yeah.
nationwide.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Is
Yeah,
it worldwide? I would.
It's international too. We
Yeah.
distribute in about just under 20 international markets.
Goodness.
Right.
So if you're in Hong Kong and you want a Highlight, you can get a Highlight in Hong Kong now.
Yeah,
That's
which is
incredible.
It's
But it's not surprising
and
for Highlight.
yeah, to your point, Highlight is the brand that everybody's familiar with. I got to go to Russia a couple of years ago, and
No.
oh yes, Cigar City, you do JLA. I have this beer. It's really good. It's amazing the recognition that brand has now.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, would you say now that wasn't your first beer, correct?
Second, actually.
Okay.
The first was a beer called Maduro Brown Ale. We
Yes.
still brew that to
Delicious.
this day,
Right.
and it was brewed on this system. So something about Maduro brewed on that system I love because it's the original recipe
The system
on
in
the
this
original
room.
system.
Right.
Exactly, which
Yeah.
is pretty neat. But that's
That is cool.
I'm with you. That one's kind of my personal favorite
Oh,
for
yeah, me too.
a year-round brand.
Yep.
But it's funny when Joey and Wayne were sort of developing the ethos for the brewery, they didn't want to be tied to a year-round brand. They didn't want to, sort of have Highlight be the lead horse. They said, look, we want to have the flexibility to brew what we want to brew, when we want to brew it,
Of course.
and not be nailed down to keeping up with one beer.
course.
right.
Joey's also a wise enough businessman that when the second beer that we brewed was Highlight and people lost their minds over it, he said,
yeah.
all right, well, actually, we are going to have a flagship.
Yeah, we'll keep this
Pivoted
one.
pretty quick on that. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we are drinking some now.
Yeah.
Cameron, what do you have?
I had a frost proof that I drank.
Yeah.
Which
had.
is I had it already at 9 o'clock. But yeah, it's great. Belgian style white. Yeah, I mean, do you want to speak to this? One's fairly new, correct?
It is. So it's a beer that we introduced just over this summer, and it's taking the place of Florida Cracker, our other Belgian-style white beer.
Nice.
This one's a little bit higher alcohol. It's 6% instead of 5.5.
that
Same
explains
Belgian
it.
yeast that we use, still brewed with coriander and orange peel, but that little bit of extra alcohol actually emphasizes a little bit more of the citrus quality of the beer.
Okay.
Nice.
So a little bit more
Okay.
citrusy, but if you like Florida Cracker, it's definitely going to be familiar.
It's
Yeah.
really and I've had Florida Cracker too, but this is the first time I've had the frost proof, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
It is really,
and it's
really good.
not named after the city at the end of the movie Identity with John Cusack.
It kind of is. So
Okay.
it's a reference to
I mean, citrus, right?
the name just lends itself to that very
For sure.
Florida sort of vibe. We're
Right.
not a whole lot that's going to frost over down here.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, and that's what I love too. Is like even like the Florida Man beer. Everything is like highlighting and pushing up Florida.
Always,
right?
yeah.
You lean into
you
Florida's
lean into
culture
where you're at,
and to like where you come from, which is huge. Like we respect that like big time, and I think that's why like we were so drawn to the brand because of the similar culture. You know,
Right.
like we're pumped to be from Florida. We're excited about Florida's history, and we love repping it. I had the margarita Goza, and it is phenomenal. Now as somebody who doesn't know anything about it, I just know what I like. What tastes good. That is a sour, I believe, or a tart. It's a
So when you really kind of drill down into the styles, the style is called a Goza.
okay. So that
but
that
it is a
the
sour
style.
beer. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So what makes that flavor? I feel like is unique to other beer, or compared to other beers, is different. Why is it that way? Why is it sour?
So
That's so amateur. Why is it that way?
absolutely. Trying to give kind of the quickest and dirtiest explanation.
Sure.
So the Goza style originated in Germany.
Okay.
And it originated hundreds of years ago. Before pasteurization, before sort of isolating different yeast strains, most beer in the world was sour. So if you think about people, medieval people drinking beer, it was probably sour.
Okay.
Reason being they didn't have sanitary brewing equipment. There was a lot of bacteria, and it's
floating
not
around.
pathogenic. It's not any bacteria that's going to make you sick, but that bacteria created lactic acid.
Right.
Lactic acid is what makes the beer sour. So really, it wasn't until the last 200, 250 years that beer wasn't sour, at least to some degree.
That's really cool.
I love that he said, "Let me give you the quick summary," and then he went back hundreds of years and into bacteria. But that's the breakdown. It's Goza. It's bacteria based.
I mean, you would love beer in the medieval because Josh loves sour beer.
I love sour. Well, I had so much High Lie a few years ago, and I had to turn to sours, to get a new taste on my taste buds.
I mean, now you got a bunch of. How many sours or gozas do you guys have now?
This is our one year-round sour beer, but
Right.
we do dozens and dozens of different sour beers. Most of them
Seasonal.
stay in the tap room here at the facility on Spruce Street in Tampa. But if there's a style of beer out there, we've done probably 6 different versions of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, you now have cider and mead and seltzer.
So seltzer, yeah, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
something that we've introduced just in the last year.
Yeah.
And tying in that whole Florida culture, the original seltzers that we came out with last year, or the beginning of this year rather, all had ties to Florida. We did a key lime, we did a grapefruit, we did a Florida orange.
Yeah. Right.
So that was the cost of entry for us getting into seltzer. You all know there's a million seltzers out there. So
Right.
what
Yeah.
can we do different? What
like
can
a
we
big
do
thing right
that
now.
and also keeps in the culture and sort of the again, the ethos of what Cigar City is, and we're not going to do something unless it has a tie to Florida.
Right.
So
Right.
tying in those sort of Florida-inspired flavors to the seltzer was important, yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Florida culture, Florida beers, so we have the Florida Man
Right.
beer.
Arguably the best one.
I think
My favorite one.
We
Wow.
are. I think we're biased.
Strong
because,
stance.
I think so.
We're there. We're committed to it. What separates the Florida Man beer from the rest? Like, how did you guys come up? Was it the low hanging fruit? It was pretty obvious. Florida Man was there. It was.
There's an element of that, yeah.
We built our entire show on that. So
Yeah,
it's okay.
so you're in good company.
You're in good company.
We're all friends here, right?
Yeah, right.
Look, everything we do here is informed by Florida.
Sure.
And we've always sort of taken more of a reverential and serious approach to Florida culture.
Right.
We're talking about like High Lie, or talking about Maduro, which ties into cigar manufacturing and Florida culture, or
Right.
the Guayabera,
Right.
sort of traditional Latin shirt. But obviously, there's plenty of
Florida man.
irreverence when it comes to Florida.
Absolutely.
So we
Right.
kind of leaned into that when we introduced this beer. And the recipe has gone through a couple different iterations and a couple different developments, but we're really, really proud of what we have there. 8.5%. We say it's crazy hoppy,
Yes.
Okay.
which, again, Florida Man kind of...
Yes.
Florida Man's crazy hoppy.
Yeah.
He's something.
Yeah.
He's definitely something. And even the packaging kind of pokes a little fun at...
I was gonna mention the artwork even is just so awesome.
it's
like
beautiful.
the alligator on there and the Welcome to Florida.
And it's a huge 30-foot by 20-foot mural behind us.
That's a big old Florida Man. Yeah, exactly. We're leaning into... Again, the weirdness of Florida, but also sort of the unpredictable nature of Florida Man.
Sure.
I mean, you guys
Sure.
know better than anybody. You never know
We
what Florida
sure
Man's
do.
going to do.
Sure. Yeah.
So in the future, what you might see are different sort of takes and different spins on the Florida Man recipe that are say
Okay.
a little unpredictable where you're going.
Come on.
You know, for
people
anybody
on
else,
their
it wouldn't
toes.
make sense, but it's Florida Man, so everything
Right.
makes sense.
That's
right?
us
love
week
that.
to week. Yeah.
It's always an
I love
option.
that.
So, what goes into making like a new beer, like a new flavor? Like,
Are you looking at the market? And are you trying to predict where it's going to go? Or are you
Yeah,
just
like-
going off inspiration from the brewer?
It's yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
It's a little bit of everything.
Nice.
So there's some beers that are essentially passion projects
Yep.
that find reception in the tap room. Like a beer, we do a beer called Space Pope, and that was something that our production manager Sean had developed. It was just something he said, "Oh, I like these
That's
hops. I
cool.
want to brew a beer with these hops."
Cool.
Put it on draft in the tap room. People loved it.
Really?
So, all right. Well, maybe we'll do a small packaging run. We did a small
Yeah.
packaging run. People loved it. All right. Well, maybe we should do a limited 6-pack. You know that we can release out in the market.
Right.
So it grew really organically and just based on what we wanted to brew and how it was received by consumers. But there's definitely, you know, to your point, there's definitely an element of, well, we're looking at what's happening in the market. You know,
Yeah.
something like seltzer, we're going, well, there's too many people drinking seltzers for
Yeah.
us to
Right.
pretend like
Yeah.
they're not.
Oh, yeah.
you
Right,
know?
Yeah.
right.
That's a big
But
deal.
again, we weren't going to do something if it wasn't authentic and true to who we are as a brand.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's got to be a great feeling. I think as a creator, you know what I'm saying, to like kind of create something, you brew it, and then people enjoy it. That's like the I think the pinnacle of success. You know, you make something, it's a passion project, and people actually like it.
Yeah.
Is there ever is it like a round table kind of discussion where it's like, hey, time to make a new beer? Like, you know, where all those things are kind of taken into account, like Josh said, the market, but also too, like, you know, what can we do differently? You know, because I'm not educated at all on the process of beer making. So, like in my eyes, you know, I assume like you change, like you tweak one little thing in the recipe and it's a brand new beer. Is that the case, or is it?
Absolutely. You can.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Beer, you can give the same ingredients in the same recipe to, you know, let's say Green Bench over in St. Pete. Give them literally the same ingredients in the same recipe, and their version of that recipe is going to taste completely different.
Right.
That's crazy.
Because of different
Oh, yeah.
techniques, because of literally the geometry of some of these tanks, because
Right.
of
Sure.
the equipment, because of efficiencies, that sort of thing. Which is really, it's kind of what makes beer exciting. But
Yeah.
but all that to say, we always have probably a half a dozen beers on draft here in the tap room that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Well, and I think that's what's you know, so amazing for locals is like they can come in and have something different all the time. I
Yeah.
mean, you just have so many different things that you offer. Like I was kind of looking at the bar, and the chili lime goza is like, I want to try it, but that's a tap room special.
Yep.
Correct. And you know, how many things are originally, oh, this is gonna be a tap room special, and then it's like, man, we have to like release
People
this.
love it.
A good
like
amount
how many
of them.
times? Okay,
A
so
good
that's
amount
like,
of them, absolutely.
which
Yeah.
I guess is a good way to test things. Like, hey, let's put it in the tap room, see how it does.
The tap room is your focus group.
You're exactly right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually have some kind of online feedback forums where people can
Nice.
tell us what they think about
That's
these beers.
awesome.
And then
That's
between
awesome.
that and just looking at the numbers and say, well, this beer just didn't sell, so this might not be the one that we scale up.
Right.
But I bring up sort of all those taproom exclusive beers just to say that we always have so many sort of, let's say, things on the back burner
Yeah.
that when it comes time to say, all right, we got to start thinking about 2022, what you're going to
Okay.
see on the shelf at
True.
you know, your local
Yeah.
local supermarket. We have all these beers that we've tried to brew in the last year.
Oh, yeah.
And we can kind of say it becomes like a library of different beers that we
Sure.
can kind of pick and choose.
You got 100 people here, right? And they're all into beer. So I'd say most of them are probably home brewing or thinking of their own type of recipes. And they probably want to introduce it, you know, to the higher ups and say, look, I made something. And then maybe that works out. So I can imagine you have a catalog
We
of
do.
ideas.
And it's funny because we're talking about the Margarita Goza.
Yeah.
That's a beer that was actually developed by our staff. So
Nice.
5
That's so
years,
cool.
5 years into the brewery, we did a series called 5 Beers for 5 Years, where we broke the brewery into different departments. So packaging was one department, the office was one department, the tap room was one department. We said, all right, for our 5th anniversary, each department is going to brew their own. They're going to design their own recipe.
Wow.
And the packaging guys,
Yeah.
they work out in the packaging hall. They sweat their asses off out
Right.
there. It is hot, and those guys work really, really hard.
Yeah.
So they said, all right, well, we want something that when we get off of work is going to be light,
Okay.
low alcohol, refreshing. And that's
That's really
definitely
cool.
what Margarita is.
Absolutely.
So, and
Yeah.
we put it on draft. People loved it, and we slowly kind of trickled it in,
Very
and now it's
cool.
a year-round staple for us. So that's
amazing.
Yeah, I think that actually speaks pretty well to that process.
Oh, yeah.
I think we already almost went. I think we did go through the 6-pack of that this
easily.
morning.
Well, because it's so refreshing.
It is
It's
really good.
nice,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is it's a good wake me up. It's at 4.2%.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what
it's
I
good
mean?
breakfast.
That's
Oh, yeah,
crazy.
good breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if you live locally, if you live in Florida, this is a place to come.
Yeah.
You want to try stuff. Now you have a kitchen here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an in-house kitchen. You can try stuff on tap that isn't
Bottled or canned. And
bottled. Yeah, it's all on tap. And then if you are visiting Florida, it's a place you want to visit. Now, is there a way for our listeners who live internationally or maybe out of state, can they order it online?
You can't order it online,
Uh-huh.
unfortunately. The state of Florida, the regulations are a little different than they are in different states.
Sure.
But we, again, are distributed, and we're in just about 20 international markets.
Okay.
We're in all 50 states. Our website has a tool where if you're in the U.S., you can plug in your zip code, and it'll tell you the closest bars and
Nice.
restaurants
That's
and stores
cool.
that have
Yeah.
our beers.
Yep.
And then we're very, part of the reason why we've become an internationally renowned brewery is because we're in Florida.
Right.
Everybody comes to Florida,
It's true.
and it's always for good reasons. So
Right.
it's,
Right.
I go down every year to go to spring training with my dad, or
Yep.
I go visit my grandma in the home, or
Right.
I'm going to
100%.
Disney World. It's all these very positive associations. So we get a ton of people that do come through, on vacation or
Right.
to travel, which is awesome, and it's funny, spending time in the tap room, and you'll see somebody sit down at the bar and say, "Oh, yeah, I've been wanting to come here. I came all the way from Fort Myers."
That's awesome. That's
The
incredible.
bartender would be like, "Yeah, the guy next to you came from Sweden."
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Fort
I've been
Myers
meaning
ain't
to get
impressive.
down here.
Exactly. But
I was just going to say, we are who we are because of Florida, not
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
the inspiration and
Yeah.
the culture, but we wouldn't have people traveling to the brewery
Absolutely.
if we were in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
there you
Right.
go. Right.
Be a tougher sell. for sure.
Nothing against Sheboygan,
Oh,
but
right, no,
they
right.
don't get the folks traveling from around the world to come and spend time down here.
Right.
And we feel so fortunate to be as close as we are, and I think
Absolutely.
that's like one of the things where it's like, so if you are in Florida, this is a place to be. If you're visiting Florida, like Josh said earlier in his quiz, it's summertime. You're going on vacation. You're coming down for the holidays. We have a lot of the population, will increase during the winter. This is a place to stop by. This is a place to come visit. How can they find you again locally? So if you're listening to the episode and you want to come visit, the address or location.
Sure, we're at 3924 West Spruce Street.
Yep.
So we're just off of Dale Mabry.
Yeah.
We're right by Tampa International Airport. We're about a 7-minute drive from
Yeah, so a
TIA,
layover.
which is awesome.
Stop by.
So it's funny when the tap room opens up. I'll bet you at some point in the first hour you'll see people with luggage. They're either on their way
Really?
to the airport or this is their first stop
That's what I'm
out of
talking
the
about.
airport.
That's
which
brilliant.
Is awesome.
That's what I was
That's
thinking.
brilliant.
We're right by
Yeah.
Raymond James Stadium where
Yes.
the Super Bowl champs Bucks play.
Come on.
There you go.
We're
Amen.
right by Steinbrenner Field where the Yankees play spring training.
Unreal.
So, and it's funny that we ended up in this spot because Joey, the guy who started our company, his dad owns the building.
Yeah.
That's how we ended
Wow.
up here. We always say if we had planned it, we would have messed it up. But
True.
we
That is
ended
so
up in this
cool.
warehouse and sort of serendipitously
It's in the
figured
spot.
out, this is the best. We
is
couldn't
the
have picked a
spot.
better
Right,
location
yeah.
if we tried.
Yeah,
That's
amazing.
incredible. And
What,
it's
what are you personally excited for? Like a beer that maybe that's in production now. Like what's your favorite, and then maybe what's something that you're excited about that's coming, soon.
Yeah, so right now I'm drinking a lot of the high-low. It's a
Okay.
lower alcohol, lower calorie recipe than High-Lie.
Yeah.
I love High-Lie. That's, again, the engine that drives this place.
Sure.
But
Right.
Is it a session beer? Is it-
High-Low is, yeah.
Yeah.
High-Lie is 7.5.
Okay.
So 3 or 4 of those, and you're kind of, pumping
Yeah.
the brakes a little bit.
Sure.
Man.
After like 14 or 15, you really gotta slow down.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, or you're a Florida man.
Yeah, jeez. So High-Low, same hops,
Yep.
essentially the same flavor profile
Yep.
in 4% alcohol, 120 calories.
Oh, that's a
incredible.
chill.
At this point, I got to keep an eye on the
God
beer
bless.
belly too, so the lower calories helps.
Yeah.
So that's actually kind of my go-to beer these days.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
And then coming up, we've got a ton of really cool barrel age projects that are in the works.
Oh, yeah.
I was
So-
going to ask
Yeah,
about
we
the
did
club
read.
thing that you guys have. If
Yeah,
you want to speak
exactly.
on that.
El Catador Club.
Yeah.
So it's a barrel-aged beer club. It works a lot like a wine club. You pay up front. You're guaranteed 2 bottles each of 7 different barrel-aged releases.
Wow.
And those beers never get available. They're never made available to the public.
Okay.
So
wow.
really the only way to get your hands on these beers aged
It's
in
to be part of this.
bourbon barrels, rye whiskey,
That's what I'm
red
talking
wine, Sauterne, Madeira. We've done
Wow.
gin barrels. We've done tequila barrels.
Wow.
These are some of the really ambitious and really the rarest beers that we make, and it's all available through that El Catador Club.
That's
Nice.
cool.
That's
I got to
amazing.
assume there's probably a black market. You probably well,
I mean,
with
there
your
is.
specials. I know I've seen people asking like, what's the one special that comes every year?
Like a secondary price.
Hunapoo's Imperial Stout.
Yeah, I didn't want to pronounce it incorrectly, but I'm very familiar with it.
Just say it doesn't matter how you pronounce it, as long as you're drinking it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I think I've stood in line for it before.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, you gotta get a ticket and everything. It's a whole.
Well, I know a guy. I'll get you a bottle.
All right,
Come on.
now I know a guy. So this works out.
Well, Neil, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. And we're about to take a look around, and,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we're excited about that. But just one last time, anything else that we want to, kind of roll the red carpet out for you guys? Anything else that you want to talk about? Anything special happening in the next couple months?
Always stuff going on.
Yeah.
We're already looking at 2022 and some
Yeah.
of the stuff that's going to be coming up. But for the rest of 2021, I'm excited that we've got Spanish cedar highlight coming out.
Okay.
So, same
Nice.
highlight recipe. It's
Yeah.
rested on Spanish cedar spirals, so it's the same stuff that
Okay.
they make humidors
Wow.
out of. And that's kind of
Wow.
tying again into
Cool.
that cigar history.
Yeah.
Gives
Right.
it this really nice cracked black pepper sandalwood quality to
Cool.
the beer.
That's incredible.
Not a whole
Goodness.
lot of beers out there that are aged or rested on Spanish cedar. So it's a really unique beer.
The
and
creativity here really is. You'd think you grow so big like Cigar City and you kind of lose that, but it seems like you
No.
guys are
The
developing
lean into it more,
innovation.
yeah.
we're very fortunate to have the production guys that we do, and especially the brewmaster we do.
Sure.
His name's Wayne Wombles. That's
Yeah.
really his name. I swear it's Wayne Wombles. But that guy takes inspiration from not only different beers that he tries, and he travels around the world. Not only different beers, but
Oh, yeah.
he'll have a dish in Iceland and go, oh, I had this great dish, and it really made me think about this beer and how it could be a perfect complement
That's
to
so
it.
stuffed
cool.
pike, probably.
Yeah, exactly, or that labor loaf.
Or the
There you
labor
go.
loaf. Amen. Amen.
So,
Oh man.
well, we appreciate you, man.
It really just seems like you guys have fun with it too.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously everything that you do is serious. It's for a purpose. You're going for a specific
It's incredible.
profile, but it just seems like you have fun. I mean, it just seems
Yeah.
like a great place and a great vibe.
It
It's
translates.
Monday morning
Yeah,
at 9
man.
in the morning, and
Well,
we're
thank-
having a blast.
Thank you for saying so.
Yeah.
We get to work in beer for a living. Could be
That's
a lot
amazing.
worse. The
Yeah.
worst day working in beer is a lot better than the best day selling car insurance. Right?
That's true.
Sure. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wayne's always said
And-
that.
and
So.
nothing against the car insurance.
No,
salesman out
no,
there.
no.
I don't want to alienate that demographic.
No, Neil is just way cooler than you. We just want to make sure you know that.
Well, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for inviting us, having us here. Cigar City Brewing. This is the place to be. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in all
Yeah.
these years. We will see you next week.
Yeah. See you guys.